Hello everyone, welcome back. Savert is here, coming back with part 10 of What If Deku Had the Ultimatrix. Now, where we last left off in the part number 9, Izuku was in with Kota, his little brother, sitting on the cliff. After a little bit of while, Izuku left, and then the villain attack started. And after Izuku come back to the same to training forest and defeating the villains, Bakugo has been taken away by the villains after Izuku leaves. And now we continue after Izuku. He's now in his hideout. He's sitting, chilling, wearing just his, black t-shirt with no, with short, with short sleeves, as he's sitting saying, "Oh my god, well, that Dobby guy was really having a very hot fire. I'm excited to fight it again one time." As Izuku opened the TV, seeing that the heroes, Mr. Nezu and Eraserhead and Blood King, I mean, give me a minute, guys. Having, uh, yes, let's continue. After opening the news on the TV, he see on the TV, on a live television, Mr. Nezu and Shoto Aizawa and Blood King on the TV, with making a meeting with the transporters. As he said, "Oh, that would be interesting." As he's here that they are talking about the missing kid, Katsuki Bakugo, and he himself, Albedo, as after a lot of seconds saying, "Oh, I need to go there." And Izuku leave the hideout, start running and jumping on the roofs. As we cut to Nezu and Aizawa and Blood King, they are being asked questions about the missing kid Katsuki Bakugo. As the transporter once said, "Mr. Aizawa, why do you think the League of Villains has taken away Katsuki Bakugo?" As Mr. Aizawa said, "I'm not really sure. He's having a very strong quirk, but any other reason than that I don't know. Maybe to get information out of him, or something like that." As the other transporter number 2 saying, do you think that the villains will gonna start attacking UA again? And if that happen, what are you gonna do?" As Nezu answered that question saying, "The villains has been attacking us quite recently these days, but we will get ready if they start attacking again. And we are now working with the police to find the missing student of ours, Katsuki Bakugo, and we will get him back no matter the cost." As the third transporter saying, "Well, we know about Katsuki Bakugo, but there is another thing. What do you know about the old student of yours, Izuku Midoriya, that he now goes by the name Ultimate?" As Shota Aizawa, before he answers the question, they hear from behind something saying, "This question is for me." As from behind they see Beak Chill with his wings wrapped around him. You know how he's wrap his wings around his body. Aizawa and Blood King goes to fight, but he said, "Don't worry, I'm not here to fight." As I said, I'm here to answer some questions and to offer something. As he detransform, Albedo right now wearing his black and red jacket without the mask and the hoodie on, as he said, "Well, hello everyone, you know me, I'm Izuku Midoriya." As the news reporter number 3 saying, You are Izuku Midoriya? May I ask a question?" As he said, "Well, sure then, go." As the transporter said, "Why did you left UA?" As Izuku take the mic in front of Aizawa and start walking around, saying, "Well, I never wanted to go to UA in the first place. It was just my trick so I could take information out of them." As Izuku continues saying, "And if anyone wonder, no, I'm not here to fight. As I said before, I'm here to offer help to UA and to answer some questions, to make some things clear." As Nezu said, "Why are you doing this, Midoriya? Can't you just go back to UA and continue being a hero?" "No, thank you. I like what I'm doing right now, and I don't care. So please stop asking me the same thing again and again. Nezu, you are much smarter than that to just repeat the same question. Come on." As Nezu get quiet, and then another transporter saying, "Well, if you said that you said you were gonna answer some questions." As Izuku said, "Yes, I'm gonna answer some questions, so come on, hit me with it. But I'm not gonna answer questions that contain about my quirk, because I'm sure right now some specific people are watching us. And I'm talking to you, Shigaraki. I know that you're watching us right now. And I have a question for you. How is your pinky doing right now? I'm sure you got very hurt when your little pinky get chopped off out of your head, huh?" As we cut into the League of Villains, as Shigaraki hearing that saying, "That fucking brat! Is he trying to mug me or something?" As Bakugo say, "It's him. Turn off the TV. Just turn it off." As Shigaraki said, "What's wrong, Bakugo? Do you hate your old friend?" As he said, "He's not my friend, he's a monster. Turn it off." As he said, "No, you are not the one that giving orders here, Katsuki. I am. And I want to watch this." As Dabi said, "This kid is sure very badass, you know. He just right now in front of Nezu and Aizawa and Blood King doesn't even care." As Twice saying, "Is he crazy or something? He's 100% right." And Mr. Compress saying, "Well, I'll give that kid, he really have some balls, you know." I'm sorry guys, I don't know what I'm saying right now. As Mr. Compress saying, "Well, he have a style, I'll give him that." As Bakugo saying, "You don't even know what he can do." As he said, Shigaraki said, "Well, let's see what he gonna say." And the transporter number 5 saying, "Well, I want to ask you a question." As Izuku said, "Sure then, go ahead and ask and hit me with it." As he said, "Transporter, you said that you're gonna offer help to UA. What do you mean by that?" As Izuku said, "It's very simple. But before I say that, I need to say very, very important thing. As Izuku gets a very serious look in his eyes, Aizawa and Nezu and the others gets a little worried, and the transporter also get worried as he said, I need to send a message to a very important person or a two persons. As he said, hi mom, hi Kota, do you see me? I'm on the TV. As his mom's saying, hi Izuku, I miss you a lot. As Kota, right now he's sitting with his auntie Mandalay, watching the news, saying, "Hi, big brother." As Mandalay saying, "God damn it, what did that kid do to my little Kota?" Auntie, do you see that my big brother on the TV? As she said, "Yeah, Kota, he's sure on the TV." As the transporter said, "Is that the important message that you want to send?" As Izuku said, "Yeah, of course. I mean, I want to tell my little brother that I sure love him." As Transporter 5 said, "Well, that's so kind of you." But back to our question. How do you offer help to UA? As Izuku continues saying, "Oh, my apologies. It's simple. I will gonna help UA get back Katsuki Bakugo." As Transporter 6 said, "And why would you help him do that? Is it because he's your old classmate?" Izuku answers saying, "Well, no. And it's just because that I want to go there and put an end to the League of Villains. And to be honest, I doesn't care for Katsuki Bakugo at all." As Transporter 7 said, "Why don't you care for him? I mean, from what we heard, you and him were friends since middle school, right?" As Izuku said, "Please, friends? Are you sure you have the right information? Because what's inside my mind is nothing like that." As another transporter said, "May you tell us more details?" As Izuku said, "Well, right now we all know that the League of Villains have Katsuki Bakugo, and to be honest with you, when I go to help UA get him back, I wish that we will find him dead. I really wish that, from all my heart." As Transporter 8 said, "And why would you wish that? This is so horrible." As Izuku said, "Horrible? You see, my wish right now is horrible. Okay, let me tell you about a few horrible things the one that called Katsuki Bakugo has done to me. And this drive me to the point where we are right now, to be the ultimate vigilante." As Izuku tells, "Well, when we were kids, he always bullied me. I still remember that one that he got his goons and started blowing my face, making me go to the hospital, and the one time that he pushed me down the stairs, and the other one when he threw a hot water on my body from behind. And how can't I forget the time that he blew up my notebook just because I said that I want to be a hero?" Or and he continued telling all the horrible things that Katsuki Bakugo said. The Aizawa and Nezu and Flood King are just shocked, saying, is Katsuki, is Bakugo related all this to Midoriya?" As in the League of Villains, Shigaraki said, "Oh my god, you know, I'm a villain, but what you've done to him is much more horrible." As Bakugo is saying like, "Whatever." As Dabi said, "Can I burn his skin? For some reason I'm getting angry on him right now." As Shigaraki said, "Please, Dabi, don't get too carried away. We still needs him. As Twice said, you are a very horrible person. You are the most epic hero that I ever seen in my life. As Mr. Compress continues saying, Bakugo, Bakugo, Bakugo. How how could you done so much thing to that kid? No wonder he's a vigilante. I'm surprised that he didn't become a villain because of you. As the transporter saying, is that all what he did to you? Are you lying? As Izuku said, lying? Look at my face. Do I look like I am lying? As they look and they just see a very serious face. As he said, I understand, but I really don't want to know, but did he do something other than that? As Izuku said, oh yes, you remind me. How did I forget that one time that the point that he literally break me down, the point that it's truly changed me and make me what I am today. One day when we were in classroom, after this, let me tell you that. One day we were in the last day of the middle school. The teacher come into the class saying, well students, you this is the last day of your middle school and right now you should really think about your future. And then he goes to throw the paper out of the air saying, just kidding, I know you all want to go to the hero course. As everyone starts using their quirks except me and Bakugo. And after a little while, the teacher said, well, I see Katsuki Bakugo want to go to UA. As Bakugo jumped on his desk saying, I still remember what he said. He said something like, Teach, don't put me with these extras. They would be lucky if they become a sidekick to a sidekick of a D-lister or something. As after that, the teacher said that I want to also go to UA. After that, Bakugo gets really angry and blow the shit out of my desk, throwing me back into the wall, telling me, if you ever try to go into UA, Deku, I will gonna blow the shit out of your face. As if you don't know what Deku means, it's an insult that he always tell it to me, which is mean worthless and it means just worthless. Deku means worthless. That's what he mean with that insult. And after that, the class ended. I was collecting my notebook that in the past I was always collecting notes on heroes and villains, so quirk analyze. I was always analyzed quirk. It was my hobby. As after that, when I was about to put it in my bag, Bakugo and two of his goons come to my desk. Bakugo said, Heh, Deku, if you didn't stop to apply to UA, I'm gonna kill you. And he goes to take my notebook out of my hand and start reading around and saying, why do you collect information about heroes? Do you still want to be a hero? You're so pathetic, Deku, so stop trying. And you know what? And after that he goes to blow up my notebook and throw it out of the window. I look out of the window and Baku said to me, you know what, Deku? How about you take a swan dive off the roof and wish that you get a quirk in your next life? And after that, he just left the room. And this was the moment that I become what I am today. As he put a smile on his face, as everyone just in shocked. Nezu, Aizawa, All Might, his mother, Kota, and Kota Ante, and all the transporters saying, one of them saying, is that really true? As he said, 100%. As in the League of Villains, Shigaraki said, I mean, This you are just the worst, you know, Katsuki Bakugo. You are just the worst. As Dabi said, it's ended. I'm gonna burn his face. As Dabi throw fire at Bakugo, burning his skins a little bit. Not something too strong, but enough to make him scream in pain. As Shigaraki said, "Stab it, Dabi, you're gonna kill him." As he said, "Fine." As after that, the transporter, another transporter said, "You said that Katsuki Pagu told you to take a swan dive off the roof and wish that you had a quirk in your next life. Is that so? Then how do you have a quirk right now? Are you was quirkless when you was kid?" As Izuku said, "Yeah, I was quirkless when I was kid. My quirk developed when I was 15. After the school, I go to the forest and start punching trees until my hands start to get with blood, and I was crying and so angry, and suddenly my hands start transforming and my whole body. It was so painful. I mean, I felt every single bone in my body and every single cells get erased and being created again. It was really painful until the time I got this. I call it ultimatrix. It's it's a device that make my pain goes and I don't transform suddenly without thinking, because my transformation count on my feeling and my imagination. As Izuku continues saying, "Well, that's the end of the questions, guys. That's all the questions that I'm gonna answer on it in this day. And now," as Izuku put down the mic and goes to Nezu, telling him, "Nezu, I'm offering you to join into the mission of rescuing Bakugo. Are you gonna accept my offer?" As Nezu said, "I knew you were gonna come even if I told you no." As Izuku said, "Still smart as always." As Nezu shook the hand of Izuku, and Izuku said, "One more thing to everyone. Make sure my name is not Ultimate. It's Albedo." As he put a smile with his face, as the whole world start knowing his name, they change it from Ultimate to Albedo. The Vigilante Albedo, or the Ultimate Vigilante Albedo. And after that, he said to Nezu, "Well, Nezu, I will gonna work with you in this mission. And I'm as to know that I'm not trying to do anything." As Izuku goes a little down and whisper in Nezu's ear saying, "I can heal All Might's injury." As Nezu quite gets shocked as he said, "What?" As Izuku just said, "Just as you heard me. If you agreed with my help, I will just help you and help him. Are we on agreement or not?" As Nezu said, "Of course, Albedo." As he said, "Thank you. Well, shall we go back to you, eh?" As he said, "Well then, come with me, please." As he, Albedo, and Nezu, and Blood King Aizawa, they all go. As Izuku and the way out, everyone just looking at him, saying, the transporter all with the cameras on him, as he waved to one of the cameras saying, "Hey Kota." As Kota said, "Hey big brother." And after a little bit, Izuku gets in the car with um, Nezu, Aizawa, and Blood King, as he said, "I swear, if this car goes to Tartarus, As Nezu said, don't worry, it's not going to Tartarus. At least, not yet. As Izuku said, not yet. We will see when the time comes. As they go back to UA, as Nezu and Blood King and Aizawa are in front, and behind them are Izuku. The heroes waiting for Nezu and the other two heroes to come, and they open the way to Albedo as the other heroes there getting ready to fight. As Nezu said, don't worry heroes, he's with us, he will gonna help us in getting back Gatsuki Bakugo. As they said, are you really gonna use the help of that villain? As Izuku said, hey, I also have feelings. I'm rather to be called a vigilante. As he said, shut up, villain. As Izuku said, do you want me to how about you shut your face off before I burn it? As he said, I like to see you try. As Izuku said, whatever. As he said, going around saying, hello, you look very nice. Oh, Mount Lady, you seem to be recovered from that kick, and hey, Kamui Woods, looks like you got recovered from that atomic blast, huh? And he look around seeing all the heroes that he defeated from the past, as they all just angry as him, as he suddenly bumps into someone, as he look up saying, oh, hey Endeavor. Oh, ouch. That scar looks a lot worse than I expected. I was wanting to make it just like your son, but looks like looks like I overdid it, huh? As Endeavor getting angry, saying, should we really? Why don't we just throw him in Tartarus? As Nezu said, well, it's simple. Because he's strong and we might fight there. You know who we might fight there? Endeavor. As Endeavor know about All for One, as he said, we don't need the help of a brat like him. As Albedo said, the brat that he in front of you right now has give you a scar on your face and defeat most of the heroes here, including All Might. As he said, it was just a hit of luck. You won't be lucky to defeat me next time, brat. As he said, well, let's see when that next time will come. I'll make sure to give you another scar the same as your left side, and just copy, and I will just kinda copy it and put it on your left. Maybe that will make you look even better than you look right now. And they were just getting angry and angrier. As Nezu said, well then you two, please stop. And Izuku, please come with me. As Albedo said, don't call me Izuku. You know I'm Albedo for now, at least in the work. As he said, well Albedo, please come with me. You said that you were gonna help him. As he said, of course I'm gonna help him. In the end, he is the, what do they call it? As Izuku said, of course I'm gonna help him. In the end, he is my #1 favorite hero. As Nezu take him into a room with All Might, as Izuku said, All Might, long time no see, my old pal. How it is it? As All Might said, young Midoriya, you changed a lot, huh? As he said, no, not at all. As Izuku goes to sit in the couch in front of All Might, putting his legs on the table, saying, well, All Might, I'm here to help. As he said, help? If you really want to help, then you will just gonna come back to UA. Izuku said, well then, if you doesn't want your horrible injury to go away, then I will just gonna leave. As All Might said, what do you mean? What what do you mean? As Izuku said, well, I can heal you. That's why I'm here. To help you, of course, and to help rescue Bakugo. She said, you really can heal me. As Izuku said, I defeated most of the villain of Japan. Most of the villain and the heroes of Japan. I can heal a little injury like that. As All Might said, okay, young Midoriya, but I wish that you were gonna think again about what you're doing and come back with me to UA. As Izuku said, yeah, I'm thinking about it. You know, it would be really nice to see Kirishima and the others. I really miss them a lot, and I'm sure I'm giving them a lot of pain right now, aren't I? As All Might getting sick. Are you really gonna? As Izuku said, just kidding. It's my acting skills are getting a lot better, don't you think? As All Might said, you really doesn't care in this point, aren't you? As Izuku said, nope, not a bit. They weren't even my friends in the first place. I just used you all. As All Might said, well, anyway, can you really heal my scar? My injury, as he said, very easy and very quickly. As he said, take off your shirt and let me do my thing. As All Might takes off his shirt, and then Izuku flipped the dial of his ultimatrix, transforming into clockwork. After the red line cleans up, the All Might and Nezu and Aizawa there, seeing this weird clock-looking creature. As All Might said, what that gonna do? As Clockwork said, well, it's will gonna do this. As he raises his left arm, pointing it on All Might injury. As after that, a red light engulf All Might injury and Izuku Clockwork left hand. After a couple of seconds, Izuku stopped and then de-transform, saying, well then, why don't you try it out? As All Might said, but you didn't heal it fully. I mean, uh, I feel quite strong. As Izuku said, how about you buff up and then see what the result? As All Might buff up and then he feel a lot better. As he said, I feel a lot better, but it still hurts. You didn't heal it fully. As Izuku said, of course I didn't. Who do you think am I, stupid or something? I said I can heal your injury, but I didn't say that I will heal it. I just help you a little bit. I can heal it anytime if I want, of course, and I even can make it worse than it already is. But right now I give you some of your power back. I'm not stupid to let the Simple of Peace getting all his power back and then just goes around and capture me, aren't I? As All Might said, well, young Midoriya, you always was the smart one. Anyway, even if you didn't heal me fully, I wish one day that you will gonna come back into UA and maybe then you will gonna continue unfinished business, this unfinished business. But right now I shall thank you. As he said, you're welcome, but I'm not gonna do it again. And Izuku continues saying, well, when you gonna do that League of Villains attack? As All Might said, we don't actually know. We don't know where is the League of Villains hideout. As Izuku said, that's very easy. Just, I have the right thing to do with that. As All Might and Nezu said, what do you mean? What do you mean, Midoriya? As Albedo said, well, do you have anything that belongs to Bakugo? As All Might said, well, his room is still like there, his school uniform. Do you want it? As Izuku said, yes, please, give it to me. As and make sure to all the heroes to be prepared and all the police force. As All Might and Aizawa said, okay, Midoriya, I'm gonna make sure that heroes and police officers are ready. And All Might, can you please help me to get um, Bakugo things? And Nezu, go with Aizawa. As Nezu said, well, look at you. You are a very great leader, aren't you? As Izuku said, just do what I want, please. As Nezu leave with Aizawa, and Albedo goes with All Might. As All Might saying, you are getting a lot stronger lately, aren't you? As Izuku said, well, yeah, I always train and I always experiment. I still have a very wild imagination, you know. Without imagination, my quirk is just nothing. As All Might said, you are sure it is such an interesting quirk of yours. I really wish that you didn't leave. If you just saw the look on Kirishima's face, he was so sad from the day that you left. He was trying to get stronger and stronger to beat you and get you back into A. And he started eating even chocolate ice cream, wishing that one day you will gonna come to the same store that you bite from that ice cream as. And he just telling me the day that you train. Shut up! Stop it! He's not my friend. Just let's get Bakugo things. As All Might is quite surprised as he smiled as he said in his mind saying, well, he's acting like he doesn't care about you, Kirishima, but he sure are. Even now, he still think about you and you all of 1A as friends. As after getting Bakugo thing and making all the heroes and police officer ready, Izuku, Nezu, Aizawa and All Might are in front as All Might gives the Bakugo thing to Izuku as Nezu said, well then, Midoriya, what are you gonna do with these? As Izuku goes forward in front of everyone as he said, please don't shoot me with fire when I transform. As All Might tell the police officer to not shoot at Izuku at all as they all lay down their weapons. And after that, Izuku leave the Bakugo clothes on the ground as he flipped the dial of the ultimatrix, transforming into Ultimate Wild Mutt. As after the red line cleans up, they see this red creature with a big teeth and very sharp tail, and they get with no eyes as All Might said, what's this now? Young Midoriya, you sure have a very freaky transformation. As Izuku doesn't speak as he just, you know how a dog sound is. As he said, as Nezu said, he's saying that this creature have the ability to, maybe he don't have eyes, but he have a very strong senses. As All Might said, what? Wait, you can understand him? As Nezu said, pretty much. He's an animal now, so I'm also an animal, you know? But am I a bear? Am I a mouse? I don't really know, but I'm still so cute. As Izuku continued saying, as Nesu said, he called it wild mutt, as he doesn't have eyes, but he have a very very strong senses, 100 time better than any dog or any hero with any senses quirks. As All Might said, that's why did he get Bakugo close? As he continued, Izuku continued saying, as Nezuko said, well, he will gonna smell Bakugo close, and he want us to go after him. As Izuku Wildmat go to smell Bakugo clothes, as after that he turned around saying, Nezu said after him, as he starts running off, jumping on the roof saying, All Might said he's so fast. And after a couple of minutes, they been in front of the League of Villains hideout. And after that, Izuku did transform, saying, well then, we are here. This is the League of Villains hideout. As All Might said, very good work, young Midoriya. And Izuku said, put your hand off my shoulders. Don't touch me. As All Might put down his hand. After that, Nezu said, are you sure? As Izuku answered saying, I'm 100% sure. Bakugo is in there. And that is a very, very bad thing. As Nezu said, why is that? Because Izuku answered, because he's still alive. As Aizawa said, you really wish that he's dead by now? And Izuku said, pretty much, yeah. Aizawa said, you really hate him that much for all what he did to you? And Izuku said, do you blame me? Aizawa gets silent and said to the police to surround the area. And in the League of Villains, Bakugo is now out of his chair saying, if you fight that monster, he will just gonna fucking kill you all. That one thing that he used on me, he's just was too much. As Shigaraki said, what do you mean by too much? I remember that in the sport festival that you invited that Midoriya guy, or Albedo, as Dabi call it. Yeah, he have put a walls around you covering our views. And after he break the crystal, you just came run out of the crystal like a crying baby. I still remember it. It was so funny. As he said, if you just saw what I saw there, you weren't gonna laugh. As after that, the door of the League of Villains knock off saying, pizza delivery. As Toka said, oh, pizza, I'm gonna open up. As the wall break down, revealing All Might and 4 arms. As All Might said, no fear, for I am here. All 4 arms saying, well, let's get Bakugo and get out. As Kamui was using his his move when he wrap around the villains and everyone doing their normal. But after All Might taking Bakugo, he said, Shiguraki, you have failed. You have underestimated the, the strong will of a very young pro hero and the power of the heroes, and also the help of a very talented boy that he doesn't know his place yet. As forearms go to hit Shigaraki in the face, All Might catching his hand saying, "What are you doing, young Midoriya?" As forearms saying, "As I told you, I come here to end the League of Villains once and for all." As he said, "I'm not letting you do that. You have already done so much harm to others. It's time to stop you." As he said, "As I expected. You won't just gonna let me, aren't you?" As Izuku said, "Well then. Then how about a fight?" As Izuku throw a punch in All Might face, throwing him out of the window or out of the wall, and after that a gray substance like goo cover everyone there. Bakugo and the League of Villains and Izuku. After that they go into a close place. After the goo take them, all four arms and Bakugo are on a side and the League of Villains on another side, as all what they see in front of them are all for one. As Izuku de-transform, as Shigaraki said, "Master, you saved me." As All for One said, "Well, Tomura, you have failed once again. But don't, but that doesn't matter. Try and try. Take as much time as you need until one day you will just gonna do it. Don't, don't fall in your fear of losing again." As All for One continues saying, "Well, I see. I also got you, Katsuki Bakugo, because I see how you think that he is a very important piece in your plan, and maybe someone that I want to talk with." As Izuku looks at All for One saying, "Well, I didn't expect my last fight to be like this, but okay, All for One." As All for One saying, "Why don't you join me, Albedo? You are a very strong kid, very smart, very durable, always thinking straight, having a very powerful quirk, and you already defeated All Might 3 times. Why don't you join me and rule the world as my successor?" As Albedo said, "No thank you, I'm not into these things." As All for One said, "You doesn't understand, aren't you? I'm offering you my power." As Izuku said, "Your power?" As I said, All for One answering said, "Yes, my quirk. I'm sure you read on it, because you stole the files of UA." As Izuku remembers saying, "Your quirk, All for One. The ability to take any quirk from other people and use it as you please. You can also give it back or give it to another, to completely different person. Am I right?" As All for One starts clapping, saying, "As always, smart as always. Then, why don't you join me? Take this quirk and take other people's quirk. Become stronger. No one will ever gonna defeat you. I offering you power, the ability to rule over the world, to do what I couldn't do. To be honest, you already done it 3 times in a row, defeating All Might and other heroes 1 time without even getting your hands, your body one scratch on it, and everyone there was just laying in front of your feet. The worst thing that I could ever done to All Might is giving him that injury. But you defeated him 3 times in a row. I'll give you that. I couldn't even done it one time. And and that caused me my face. As he said, Izuku said, yeah, your face. To be honest, he was much more handsome when he was having at least white hair and red eyes. As all of them said, see, even the even the fate knows that we are all gonna end up in the same place, albedo. Even I was having a white hair and red eyes once like you. Is it coincidence? Is it fate that we two of us right now facing each other? Is it a coincidence that you have defeated All Might 3 times? Is it a coincidence that right now I'm offering you the power of mine? Or maybe it's fate, the fate that's been putting upon you since your birth, the fate to become the next symbol of fear. As Izuku saying, sorry, that fate can wait a little bit longer. Right now, I have a bunch of villains to kill. As Izuku transformed into Humongosaur, Ultimate Humongosaur, as he said, aren't you gonna attack me or should I start? As All For One said, what a waste, what a waste. Well, one day you will gonna learn that I was right. Maybe one day you will gonna come back and join me. But right now, don't worry, you won't die. But I'll make sure that you understand the difference between us. As before that happened, All Might came in and saying, don't fear, for I am here. Not smiling as he said, all for one. As All For One said, well, looks like All Might has finally arrived. You arrived quite sooner than I expected. I expected you to arrive in 13 minutes, but you arrived in 20. As All For One continues saying, is that was one of your tricks, young Midoriya? As he said, I don't know what you're talking about. As All For One said, you really are something. You really are something, aren't you, kid? As Izuku transformed his left arm into cannons and start throwing rockets at All For One. And he doing that, Shigaraki goes to touch him. Izuku throwing his tail in front of him, making a sound, a wave of force, a shock wave, shocking Shigaraki to go back a little bit. As Izuku, using the quick transformation, transform into swamp fire. As he said, well, let's leave All For One for All Might. Because if I get my eyes out of your sight, I'm sure you will gonna kill me. As Shigaraki said, you brat, my master is just offering you his power, and you refuse it. How dare you? As he goes to touch Izuku again, Izuku throws fire in front of him, making Shigaraki goes back. As after that, Dabi catches him and said, well, are we gonna continue our fight? As Izuku said, hell yeah. As he transformed into Ultimate Swamp Fire and start throwing chromation at Dabi, as Dabi starts throwing his own chromation from behind, Mr. Compress come to make Izuku turn into just a little orb as Izuku jump behind Mr. Compress using the fire in his legs and throw chromation at Mr. Compressed. Not enough to kill him, but enough to knock him out. And after that, um, Toga come to slash Izuku. She goes to slash him, and she said, "I really want to see your blood." As she go to slash him, Izuku just standing. She go hitting Izuku in his chest. Her knife doesn't go through, as he said, "Why? Why my knife doesn't go through? I just want some blood, that's all. This is not fair." As Izuku said, are you gonna now act like Shigaraki?" As he catches her from her hand and throw her away. And after that, Dabi goes to throw chromation again, as he said, "Do you forgot about me, Albedo?" As Izuku said, "Not at all." Dabi has started throwing chromation at each other. After a little bit, Bakugo still fighting Shigaraki and twice, and also the other one, you know him, Magnet, and the turtle guy, Spinner, as he fighting those villains. Said, "Shit, if I continue doing this, my bones gonna break." As Izuku just throwing chromation, and Baku said, "And this heat is just too much." And after a little bit from fighting, a very big wall of ice come in the arena, and Izuku looks behind saying, "Huh, he's here." And he see his old friend Kuroshima and Momo Yairuzu and Ida Tenya. They all flying as Baku saying that, as Kuroshima give him his hand saying, "Come on, Baku bro." As is Baku saying, "Finally." As he throw himself in the air, catching Kuroshima hand saying, "Took you long enough." As Kuroshima said, "Huh, okay, let's go." As he look down, seeing Izuku or ultimate heat blast waving at him, saying, "Izuku." As he look in front of him, and they just leave. As we cut into the fight with All Might and All For One. All For One saying, "Well, All Might, you really messed up, aren't you? You lost a very powerful kid that he was really gonna be a very scary hero to me. But now I have a chance to make him my successor." As All Might saying, "You won't do anything like that, All For One. Young Midoriya is much smarter than just trusting you." As All For One saying, "Well, it's sure it is, but I really doesn't want to hurt him. In the end, he done something that I couldn't do, defeating you." As All Might go to throw a punch, All For One using his air cannon go throw All Might away, and the fight between them just getting stronger and stronger. As after Izuku defeat Dabi, saying, "Well, Dabi, I'm sorry, but looks like I'm the winner." Dabi on the ground saying, "Damn it, I really thought that I can't defeat you." As Izuku said, "Train more and maybe next time." As from behind, Shigaraki goes to touch Izuku, as he said, "You are done." As Izuku looks behind, and then A knife pierced through Shigaraki's hand from far, as this is the knife of Stain, as Stain saying, second time that I'm piercing through your hand, isn't it, Shigaraki? As Shigaraki screaming in pain, saying, "Ah, Stain, why don't you just leave? This is not fair. I was about to kill him." As Izuku ultimate Swampfire throw Chromation at Shigaraki, throwing him away. As Izuku ultimate Heat Blast saying, "Took you long enough," as Stain saying, "Well, it was all in the plan, isn't it?" As Izuku, we cut back a little bit while Izuku was in his hideout after he saw the news. He called Stain saying, "Stain, I need you. Might be a very, very dangerous mission." As he said, "Well, I'm coming." After Stain come, Izuku tell him the plan saying, I will gonna help UA to get Bakugo back into UA and to destroy the League villains once and for all. And I want your help, but try to stay in the sidelines and don't let anyone see you." As Stain saying, "Well then." And Izuku said, "This might be a very hard fight, so the place might be get destroyed very hard because of All for One power and All Might. So I want you to take this." As Izuku gave him a teleportation device. As he said, "What is this, Albedo?" As he said, "This is a teleportation device. It's one-time use. So you need to use it in the perfect time, when I can't fight anymore, or when I am in dangerous situation. You need to jump in front of me and teleport us two out of there." As Stain said, "Well then, Albedo, this is a good plan." As Izuku said, "Well then, should we make it?" As Stain saying, "But are you sure that you want me to be there? I might messed up the plan, you know. It's a very hard one." But Izuku said, "It's no problem, Stain. In the end, I trust you." As Stain smiled, saying, "Finally, I can hear it. Now I'm satisfied." As we cut into the main time, is um Stain still away. As Izuku give him a thumbs up, Stain saying, "Well, let's see when I gonna use this." Izuku, after that, Kuroguri wakes up saying, "Ugh, my head. What's happening?" As he sees Shigaraki with his hand bleeding and Dabi on the ground and other villains around are knocked off. As he said, "Damn it." And he looks behind, seeing his master fighting with one All for One. As he said, "I need to teleport. I will run away from here." As Izuku see Kurogiri wakes up, as he said, "Oh no you don't." But before he can do anything, Kurogiri teleports everyone away there. As Izuku ultimate Albedo say, ultimate Swampfire saying, "God damn it, they ran away." And after that, All Might and All for One fights start to get very strong, as All Might are getting a little bit, even with his strong boost, he getting beaten up by All for One saying, "Even when young Midoriya has healed you up a little bit, you couldn't even defeat me." As All for One starts telling All Might that, "I have a very secret thing that I just kept for you, All Might. The ultimate weapon to defeat you." as he starts saying, in quirk enhancement, muscle fibers, float, fire manipulation, hardening quirk, 3 enhancement, and things like that, as he makes this a big hand filled with lots of metal, as he said, "This is my last move, All Might, and it's sure gonna put you on the ground." And All Might said, "Do your worst, All for One. I'm gonna end you right here." After that, All for One threw his punch at All Might, as All Might threw his own punch. After that, the two fists glide together as All for One are getting All Might down to his knees, making All for One fall on the ground as unconscious, as All for One saying, "You see that world, your symbol of peace is no more, and now I shall kill him," as he raised his fist again in the sky, ready to throw his last punch, as from far away, a beam of fire being thrown at All for One. This being an atomic blast, a very, very red, crimson red atomic blast, as Atomic said, "Your fight isn't done yet. Did you forget about me?" As All for One said, "Ah, young Midoriya," as he looks around saying, "Well, looks like Shigaraki and Kurogiri managed to teleport everyone away. Didn't you think about my offer, Albedo? It's still open up." As is Atomic said, "I'm not that stupid," as he throw another atomic blast as All for One. All for One block it with his big hand, as he said, "Is that best what you got? I'm sure you keep another thing secret from me, aren't you?" As he said, "Well, you are sure right." After that, All for One, lifting down his hand, the big one, and lift up his other hand that have the air cannon in it, as Izuku saying that, All for One starts using it, throwing air at it, very, very strong air cannon at Atomics, as Atomics dodge it, saying, "You didn't, you missed." As he said, "I wasn't aiming for you," as his Atomics looks behind, saying, a mother and a little kid." And before he can do anything, the air cannon being already go through their bodies, making blood flow everywhere, and Hizuku transform, saying, "No, no, no," as All for One starts laughing, saying, "Oh, young Midoriya, even with all your powers, you're still very weak. You need to be ruthless if you want to be strong." As Izuku, still looking at the dead bodies of a mother and her son, remembering at times when he and his mother were playing outside, as he said, "You, the ultimatrix starts going crazy, as he said, "You will pay for this," as a red light engulfs him at Izuku transform into ultimate way big, as after that line cleans up, All for One seeing this big creature saying, "Finally, you using it." as Izuku goes to throw a punch at All for One throwing his punch, but his punch can't even handle the strong of way big as Izuku go to throw his punch as he said, "How dare you!" He's throwing another punch saying, "How dare you!" Continue just throwing another punches after another punches where he's screaming saying, "How dare you! How dare you! How dare you! How dare you!" As All for One just in the ground coughing blood saying, "He's oh, he can't be that strong." As he lost consciousness and Izuku just throwing punches after punches, still screaming, "How dare you!" And that's all on the news. It's all live televisions. Everyone can see it. Kirishima, Baku just seeing this. Kirishima said, "He's Midoriya. Izubro, is that really you?" As Baku said, "God damn it. This monster. He will gonna kill everyone." As he continued just scared, "How dare you doing this?" After that he come down and he de-transform. All for One still alive, but on the very close to death. If it wasn't for his regenerations quirks, he would be dead by the first hit. As Izuku de-transform and then saying, "Why? I couldn't save them." He go on his knees saying, "I can't even save a mother and her son. How can I call myself a hero?" As and then the Omnitrix start to move on its own in her place, going in a circles as Izuku looking at it, saying what? As after a couple of going around itself, the dial of the Omnitrix pop up and then showing the photo of a weird black creatures. As Izuku said, "Do you want me to choose this?" As he press it on it, transforming into Alien X. As after that, Izuku finds himself in a very white space with two giant faces in front of him. As he said, "Where am I and who are you?" As the face of a man saying, "Ah, so you come. Where is that Tennyson boy? I doesn't see him anywhere, and you are not him." As the other one saying, "Well, maybe he's a new one, a new holder of the ultimatrix. I still remember Albedo as much as he was evil, but he sure was having just a very misunderstood. He just wanted his body back." As he said, "Wait, who are you two?" As the face of the man saying, "Oh, yes. Why didn't introduced myself? I am the Lactus, the voice of anger and rage." And the other face saying, "I am Serena, the voice of the love and peace." And Izuku said, "Where am I right now?" As he said, "Well, kid, you are an Alien X. Two of us are part of Alien X, and you are the third part." As Izuku said, "And why am I really here?" As he said, the face of the woman said, "Well, of course, because we need to agree on the power, how you gonna use it." As Izuku said, "And what even his power, that Alien X that you call it?" As the face of the guy said, "Well, you can basically manipulate your existence." As he said, "What?" The woman said, "You can make things didn't happen. Make things happen and make things didn't happen. Make the things that can't fly fly. make the sky rain with blood, make the ground move on its own, anything. As he said, wait, if I can use this, I can save that woman and her son and rebuild the whole city. As the guy face said, that won't happen, kid. I'm not agreeing with you. You don't seem that strong. I said, what do you mean? As Serena said, don't be like this, Galactus. This boy looks nice, don't you see? As Galactus said, I don't care. If he wants to use the power, he should know how to use it. As Izuku said, give me the power, I need it right now. As Galactus said, and who are you so you can order me around? As Izuku said, I am Albedo, and I need this power right now. I'm saving people. Right now, people are dying where we talking. And you telling me that I can't save them all. So give me that power now. As Serena said, well, would you calm down? Because it's not really nice to be that angry. Galactus said, well, as much as I doesn't agree to how are you screaming at me, kid, but I like you, to be honest. You are better than that Tennyson boy. He was annoying so much. As Serena said, Galactus, why are you like this? As he said, leave me alone, Serena. As he said, Izuku said, well, I'm killing villains and defeating fake heroes, people that hurt people. People that are just the worst of the worst scumbags, making me just angry. As Galactus said, well, to be honest, that's a very honorable reason to be. What are you today? And Izuku continues saying, Serena said, but where is the right in this? How can kill people make something goes right? As Izuku said, Serena, there is people that are dying, very good people. Today, in front of my eyes, a mother died with her son in her hand. As the boy also died, she were hugging him and crying. And that's what villains doing to other people like them. They just kill them without any mercy. That's what I'm doing. That's why I am killing those villains. As she said, oh my god, did a woman and kid really die today? As he said, yes. And are we talking maybe another woman and her child may be dying right now? So, are you two gonna give me your powers of Alien X or not? As Galactus said, well, kid, I agree to give you your power, my Alien X power. And Serena said, of course I will give you. You are such an honorable person. You deserve this power. As after that, let red light engulf Galactus and Serena, and then Izuku go back into his consciousness, looking at his hand with his voice, like three voices are talking at the same time, saying, well, my body feels weird, but I feel like I can do anything. As Izuku looks in front of him and make with his left hand a move like a circle in front of him. After he end up the circle, he push it forward, which make the whole city that been destroyed by the fight come back like it wasn't even anything happened there, and everyone was injured or dead there has been revived, and All Might has gained his consciousness again. Looking at this, Izuku transforming into alien, saying, "Oh, what?" And looking around, seeing all the buildings are rebuilt again, as he said in his mind, "Is this really Izuku Midoriya doing this? He's sure strong. What is this kid keeping for power?" After that, Izuku he transformed, and then he fall on his knees and lose his consciousness. After that, Endeavor and the other heroes that were there, seeing their chances as they go rushing at Izuku. But before that, Stain jumped in front of him and using the teleportation thing that Izuku gave him, and teleport away into Izuku hideout, as he leave him on the bed, saying, "Well, he's Midoriya. Was very heroic from you. You are really a true hero." As Izuku still unconscious on the couch. After that, the news. Everyone were watching that are shocked. They start asking themselves, saying, "Is this kid really a villain? He saved everyone. He revived everyone. He even got people that died back. He rebuilt the city that were just in years that might gonna need to be rebuilt. He rebuilt it in seconds." As the news reporter saying, "Today we have seen the impossible being possible. We saw the ultimate vigilante, Albedo, transforming into one of his new transformation. After defeating All for One and getting him into the prison in Tartarus." He doesn't say All for One. After defeating the villain that All Might was fighting and transforming into his way big form, he got another again after seeing a woman and a kid die in front of his eyes, making him go all out, transforming into a black creature like the whole existence was in his body in that moment. Is now we wondering after what that Albedo did, is he really the number one villain, or he actually the number one hero? And Stain was watching this as he's still taking care of Izuku because he's still unconscious, saying, "Number one villain, go kick. You call this villain? He's more than a hero." As he look at Izuku, and this is where I'm gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and telling me do you like this part or not. Severed was here.